I'm Jono. FreshBooks versus Wave. Let's see what the free tier actually gives you.
The Invoicing Specialist and the Free Starter. One was built in Toronto in 2003 because a designer overwrote an invoice. The other was built in the same city 6 years later because accounting software should not cost anything. Both serve freelancers and small service businesses. Both have horror stories that hit the paid services harder than the core product. One cross-sold a bookkeeping service at $490 monthly to a user who never used it and refused the refund. The other had its payroll system reset to a setup state with history missing, while support went unanswered for weeks. FreshBooks and Wave, the best invoicing workflow in this comparison against the only free accounting product. Client caps that punish growth against a support infrastructure that disappears when the problems are most urgent. Both founded in Toronto, both serving the same market. The choice between paying for polish and accepting the limits of free.
FreshBooks was built in 2003 because a designer at a small agency overwrote an invoice and lost a billing record. The product that emerged serves the workflow that moment revealed. Time tracking that feeds directly into invoicing, professional client payment portals, recurring invoice automation. The entire code base was rewritten from scratch between 2015 and 2017 at a cost of over $7 million. A $130 million funding round arrived in 2026. Between 2022 and 2024, repeated layoffs, leadership turnover, and office closures documented a struggle to reach profitability. The bench bookkeeping cross-sell charged a user $490 monthly for a service never used. The refund was refused. Client caps on the lower tiers force upgrades at the moment of growth. The invoicing is the best in this comparison. The pricing structure and the cross-sell pattern are the cost of that quality.
Wave was built in 2009 because accounting software should be free. The revenue comes from payment processing fees and payroll subscriptions rather than the accounting product itself. A major consumer tax company acquired the platform for $405 million in 2019. The founding chief executive left in 2023 after 12 years. The free tier provides real accounting capability, unlimited invoicing, bookkeeping, receipt scanning. The paid tier adds automated bank imports. The payroll system reset to a setup state in June 2025 with history missing. A partner transition shut the payroll service down in July. A user waited 48 days for support resolution in February. Accounts suspended by the risk team with no advance notice and invoices unpaid for weeks. The free accounting works. The paid infrastructure that sits on top of it does not work reliably, and the support that should resolve failures is absent.
The invoicing comparison is decisive. FreshBooks provides time tracking that auto-populates invoices, a client-facing payment portal, recurring billing automation, and mobile invoice creation. Wave provides basic invoicing with payment collection. For a service business that bills clients by time or project, the FreshBooks invoicing workflow is materially better. The time to invoice connection, the invoice presentation quality, and the client experience on the payment end are where FreshBooks justifies its subscription cost. For a freelancer who sends simple invoices and collects payment, Wave's invoicing is sufficient. The pricing comparison is the core trade-off. FreshBooks charges a subscription that increases as the business grows. Client caps force tier upgrades.
Features expected to be included require higher tiers. The annual cost can exceed $1,000. Wave provides the accounting core at zero cost. The paid services, bank feeds and payroll add cost, but the accounting itself remains free. For the business whose primary concern is minimizing software cost, Wave eliminates the subscription. For the business whose primary concern is invoicing quality and workflow efficiency, FreshBooks delivers capabilities Wave does not match. The support comparison is poor on both, but in different ways. FreshBooks support is documented as ghosting users during billing and cancellation disputes. Wave support is documented as being absent for weeks during payroll failures with no phone line and no escalation path. FreshBooks support fails when the user tries to leave or cancel a cross-sold service. Wave support fails when the user needs help with a paid service that has broken. Neither platform provides the responsive support a business depends on when financial services malfunction. The payroll comparison favors neither. FreshBooks does not provide native payroll. Wave provides Payroll that the research documents as unreliable. Neither platform serves the business that needs dependable payroll. For Payroll, the incumbent in this comparison remains the strongest option for United States businesses. Someone whose business bills clients by time or project, who values professional invoice presentation, and who needs time tracking integrated into billing should use FreshBooks. The invoicing workflow is the strongest in this comparison for that use case. The client payment portal and the recurring billing automation save hours that manual invoicing consumes. The cost is the subscription, the client cap tier structure, and the documented cross-sell risk. Calculate the annual cost at the tier the business requires before committing. Avoid the bookkeeping cross-sell unless the documented complaint pattern has been addressed. Someone who is a sole trader, freelancer, or micro business owner with simple books and no employees should start with Wave. The free tier provides real accounting and invoicing at zero cost. For the business whose needs are tracking income, recording expenses, and sending basic invoices, the free tier eliminates a cost that FreshBooks charges for. The ceiling arrives when the business needs reliable bank feeds, when invoicing polish matters more than cost savings, or when the business grows beyond what minimal support can serve. Someone choosing between them should ask one question. Is invoicing 80% of the accounting workflow, or is cost reduction 80% of the priority? If invoicing is the priority, FreshBooks serves the workflow better than any platform in this comparison. If cost reduction is the priority, Wave eliminates the subscription cost entirely.
The two priorities lead to different platforms. A business cannot optimize for both simultaneously. Someone who currently uses Wave and is outgrowing it should evaluate FreshBooks as the natural next step rather than jumping to the incumbent or the cloud challenger. The invoicing-first architecture matches the service business workflow that Wave also serves. The transition is from free basics to polished workflow tools within the same market segment. The incumbent and the cloud challenger provide deeper accounting, but the invoicing workflow in both is less focused on the service business use case. Someone evaluating long-term platform stability should understand the risk profile of both.
FreshBooks is a private company that has struggled with profitability through repeated layoffs and leadership changes. Whether the business model sustains the product depends on whether the 2026 funding round produces the growth the investors expect. Wave is a free product owned by a consumer tax company whose strategic commitment to the platform has not been fully articulated. Whether the parent company continues investing depends on strategic decisions the user has no visibility into. Neither platform carries the stability of the incumbent's $18 billion parent company or the cloud challenger's public listing. Both carry the uncertainty of smaller platforms whose future depends on decisions the user cannot influence. Two Toronto companies serving the same market from different positions. One charges for polish and punishes growth through client caps. The other provides free basics and disappears when paid services fail. The designer who overwrote an invoice in 2003 and the founders who believed accounting should be free in 2009 were both correct about the problem they solved. The invoicing works on one, the free accounting works on the other. The billing relationship with FreshBooks carries friction, the invoicing quality does not remove. The support relationship with Wave carries absence, the free price does not compensate for.
For the freelancer choosing between them, the question is whether the workflow benefit of paying for FreshBooks exceeds the cost benefit of staying on Wave. The answer depends on how much the business bills, how often, and whether the invoicing presentation affects whether the client pays on time. If it does, FreshBooks earns its cost. If it does not, Wave earns its place.